Morning, folks. How is everybody doing? Mark, I see you that you're in the comments. It looks like you hit your first upside target. Good job. Good job. Yeah, and you predicted that like at 5 o'clock this morning because I got up or 6 when I was up and saw your pre-market prep. I watched a different channel. I didn't watch the guy you watched. I watched another guy that also does a good job that I never heard of. But in any event, Trade Brigade is the guy you watch, and I watched this other guy that had some pretty decent content. Probably not quite as good, but I couldn't find Trade Brigade, and I just saw it and I clicked on it. It's kind of an impulsive decision. Well, let's look at this market here and see what is going on. I drew this yellow line when the market opened, gap down, and I was afraid of it getting here and stopping and going the other way. That's what I would not want to see. I wanted to get beyond this yellow line and close up there. Hopefully, I'm just afraid that we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm looking for. Let's look at the Qs, the Nasdaq. Gosh darn it! How about the Nasdaq futures? I drew that yellow line before, and it was just the triple bottom there, or the double bottom here, and there's a triple one. The same thing probably Mark's looking at. But yeah, it's a good upside, a good first target. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. We will see how that plays out. Now let's check out the Qs and the SPY. Okay, the Qs fell out of this balance and fell down into this gap. And I mean, there was buyers there, so that's good news. That is good news for sure. Let's look at the SPY. Same thing. The SPYs fell out of this higher balance. It was centered around 683. We've been in above and below, but basically building out a balance up here for a few days. Ever since, I guess, Friday, Monday, a 2-day balance. Anyway, we fell out of the two-day balance, fell into this zone where we'd expect buyers to be there. They were this time. So we shall see what happens in the future. But I would say this is what I'm looking for on the Qs. I want it to get on the other side of that and not just turn around and fail here. We'll see though. We shall see. Let's see who else here today. What do blocks do? The blocks dip below the 24 is nasty. Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm getting ready to look at that kind of stuff. Marcus is here. Dan is here. And Mark is here. All right. Well, anyway, looks like a lot of people are here. Good morning, everybody. All right, so let's look at blocks and all that kind of stuff. We can look over here to check this stuff out. Well, I guess actually I'm going back to the charts. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. So Bitcoin, there's a trend line I've been watching for a long time, this red line right here. And of course, it fell out underneath that. But what I wouldn't want to see on Bitcoin is for them to go up, retest the trend line and fell, make a new low by the end of the day or something. That my make or break line for Bitcoin is above here, at least for today. We could get it back on a little bit, put it on a daily chart, get a little bit more perspective. It's come a long way, and it's still very high, and it's just barely, it barely went under that trend line. Hopefully they're just going down here to get liquidity, trap sellers, and we'll be back at all-time highs in a week or two, hopefully, right? Always optimistic. Okay, so now let's look at blocks and that kind of stuff. So now here's something really badass about blocks. 1428. Yeah, David's raised cash. Now, he's probably been watching the show, and he's like, Max is raising cash. Mark has raised a little bit of cash. Hope I'm not talking out to school, Mark. But anyway, so, David's like, if Mike and Mark or Max and Mark are doing it, well, I've got to do it too. But anyway, he was running about 19% in HODL, 19% in FBTC, and I'm sorry, 19 and 9. Well, he was running about 40% with all of these. So anyway, he's cut back. He's cut back on them. Oh yeah, 20, 40. But and also he's added cash. They usually don't carry 20% cash. I'm not exactly sure how much he's cut back, but he used to have a bigger allocation of those three, especially Ethereum. Wasn't that 11? I think it was 15, 15, and 11, or something like that. 18, 18, and 12, or something like. It was about 45% of the account in Bitcoin directly. So anyway, I think he's cut back on that. Let's just look at the chart and see how it's doing today. Probably not very well. Blocks is down 1.7. Average stock in their portfolio is down 1.9, catching about 90% of the downside. Nothing's up other than Cypher and Iron. All right, well, come on. I just got some of this yesterday, so I'm ready for this thing to bounce. Now let's look at LFGY, see what they've been doing. Let's just look at their chart. Okay, LFGY is down less than blocks, which is the typical configuration. I think not all days, but most days it's down less than blocks, and Alti's down less than either of them, but not always, and certainly not yesterday with ULTI. Or ULTY, I'm sorry, had a rough day. Average stock's down 1.6, and these guys are only down, 1%. So they're down about 2/3 of the average stock, maybe a little less. That's good. Unfortunately, nothing's really up other than Cypher and probably Iron for them, or no, Cypher and Bullish, Mercado Libre, however you say that, and BitDeer. Anyway, everything else is down. All right, so let's look at some other stuff here. Let's look at, I don't know. I don't know what to look at here. Let's just see what you guys are talking about. Hey, Grumpy Toad, I banned you last night, and I didn't mean to. The guy next to you said something bad, and I hit ban, and I didn't look like I got him the first time, so I hit ban again, and then I got you. But I got both of you by mistake. But I unbanned you, and I'm glad to see you're back, Grumpy. Thank you for being here. I felt terrible about it. I said, does anyone know Grumpy? Tell him I didn't mean to ban him. All right. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everybody. So, yes, you heard Howard Chan mention that they plan to update the single ETFs to be more than just single stock ETFs. Well, I watched that interview with Brad this morning, and it was a good interview. I didn't really see that. I did hear him talking about that, but I was paying attention to something else. There was something else also. Yeah, I figured you did, Grumpy. I didn't figure you'd take it personally, but I felt bad about it. I don't know once I do that if you can even see the stream, because as soon as I did that, I started, or if I just banned you from the comments, because as soon as I did that, I said, oh, shoot, I banned Grumpy. Anyway, all right, so let's look at some other stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm trying to do it now without showing my StreamYard, so if there is something bad, no one can see it except for me. But then if there's something good, Grumpy, just said he cracked me up or whatever, or I cracked him up. You were able to keep watching. Okay, well, good. All right, so wonder how I do this. Maybe can I make a second screen to present? Hang on, I'm going to try to figure this out. Such a pain. I can't believe I had to do this. Such a pain. So share screen. Well, I don't know what the frick to do. Gosh damn it. These mother... I don't know how to do it with do it in the split windows. I don't care if somebody says something bad. There's plenty of mods in here. Just kick them out. There's plenty of mods in here. Just I'm trying to just share one window, but then I can't figure out how to put another window. I'm just going to share the screen. I like I say, I don't care. All right. So because I use different profiles and stuff, and I have the max factor over here somewhere else and the index buffer somewhere else. Anyway, there's plenty of mods in here. Last night, there was not a mod in the whole place. And it's fine because my mods are daytime guys. And, and I didn't really plan the stream. I just was bored and decided to go live. And so anyway. All right. Well, look here. I'm looking for some nighttime mods. Maybe Grumpy, you might volunteer to be one. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll probably have another stream tonight. All right. So feed and 5e down the most and never fails, but also up the most. Today we're having a down day, so they're going to be down the most. But these things are down triple what the SPY is. Those freaking dogs. FIRS is up. And FIRI, I keep thinking those are done, but I guess not. I mean, they're still, maybe unless another company has their symbol now and I'm following their things. I mean, they're good fund to funds but I heard they were going to be gone October 24th. So maybe they got a reprieve. Maybe the governor gave them clemency or something, but I thought those were getting the death penalty. Maybe Venuto gave them clemency. Anyway, Salty's up today. Go figure. Of course, that doesn't surprise me why Triple Q's up today. Let's see. On the NASDAQ land, the one that's worst is blocks, and that's what we'd expect on the downside. And then next is GPTY and Chippy. WPay's down, of course. It's because it's leverage. Leverage works both ways. YMAX is the same thing as WPay, except they sell options. They have similar stocks. It's not the same thing, but they sell weekly options on single stocks that are based on tech stocks mainly. And WPay doesn't even have Murni in it, and still WPay's beating it on the downside by guess how much? Oh, about 20%, because it's basically the same strategy. And they, what goes up comes down, just the way it works. But also, when you sell premium, you create a little buffer for yourself. So good job selling premium. WPay doesn't sell premium, which helps them on the way up, but it's not going to be great on the way down. Let's look at, is the market failing already? Let's go back to the market. Well, yeah, it went right to that line and turned red. And that would not be a good look. If we do that and close lower on the day, we're going to have and make a new low from the open, especially we're going to probably have lower prices tomorrow. Probably maybe the SPY wants to back test the same line that Bitcoin is back testing and trying to fill on right now. Remember, Bitcoin, the past couple of months, Bitcoin has been leading the SPY. It started turning down before the SPY did. So maybe the good news is maybe when it starts going up, the SPY might be a good news for the SPY, but we haven't seen it go up yet. And it's acting like a dog right now. Yeah. And they got same thing. They rallied to their line pretty much they back tested and are trying to fail. So I don't know if somebody tweeted or something and there's some news that's on the wire. I'm watching the thing. All right. Well, anyway, we can't do anything about that. The market's going to market. It's been weak for a while. That's why I sold it, or I thought this might happen. That's why I sold at highs at some of my portfolio, and so did Mark. You can see even after today, I thought I was like 20% cash. No, I put 5% to work yesterday, but I was actually like 28% cash. So now I'm 23% cash. Still have plenty of money on the sidelines. I put it into blocks, and I was at the point I was like 10.57 blocks. Now I'm 15% blocks, but I'm trying to generally trying to build this up. But I mean, I need to buy some ULTI. I tweeted to the guy that owns, or Scott, the guy from Rex, and he went to bat for me at Tasty Trade. Anyway, Tasty Trade is now accepting orders. For some reason, they were on close only. So, but anyway, evidently you can get it now, and I told them I'm going to get it, but I'm not going to be in a big rush the way the charts look now. I'll see how the close is, and I also need more WPay, but you don't want to buy WPay into a downtrending market. I'm going to try to wait till WPay gets a little bit lower. My plan is to take WPay, KYLD, ULTI, ULTY, and blocks and have them evened out at all about 12%, something like that. I'm going to have 5 horsemen now instead of 6 horsemen, but I'm just gradually working my way into that. I need to buy WPay and buy some more K yield. Howard calls it K yield. I call it KYLD. I'll try to start calling it K yield. So anyway, I need to add K yield, WPay, and K yield, WPay, and whatever the other one I was talking about was. ULTI. And I probably make them match. The alt allocation. Anyway, I have a thing right here where I can play with it. I need to go play with my allocations. So in any event, that's that update on that. We haven't seen the new max factor, but we'll look at that later. Oh, lightning spread. Let's see what's going on here. There's so many good ones I need to add to this lightning spread too. I'm not so sure this may not be better than all of them. But I like different things. I like things that WPay is doing. I like things that ULTI is doing. I like things that K yield is doing. So I'm getting them for different reasons. But is Spanberger going to win in Virginia? Is she a dim? Didn't I hear she's a deep state CIA person? Of course, that would make sense that she might be a dim, but. Anyway, all right. Well, you got, but in the Virginia Attorney's General race, the Republican won, I think. So they're going to have a split Attorney General and a split governor. It looks like in Texas, the Attorney General has all the power. The Texas is a little bit of a different system, or has a lot of power compared to some states. I don't know if Virginia is like that. All right. Well, so let's look at this. Okay, for some reason this isn't working, so we'll check back on that later. And we'll check back on the lightning spread later. All right, so what else do we have to check out? I guess we can finish looking at the index buffer. Yeah, WPay, gosh darn it, YMAX, everything's down. XOVR. All right, well. I was going to get some K gold today, and K gold's even down. I mean, gold was down when I checked earlier. All right, let's look at the yield max buffer report. All right, that looks terrible. There's not a single freaking thing that's up, and some of the things that are down are catching all the downside, like Coney's catching 90% of Coinbase's downside. But at least it's not catching more than 100% of the downside like WPay is. So, I mean, they all have their different strengths and weaknesses. Yield max protects capital better. WPay does better on the way up. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, no, I know it. I saw something on my phone come across, and it just made me think. You know how I am. I see something, and I get started talking about it. I wasn't endorsing Spanberger. I was just making a point. But you guys did have the Republican one Attorney General, so maybe you'll have at least you won't have the whole team blue. And maybe Spanberger will lose. I don't know anything about Virginia politics, but. I don't know anything at all about Virginia politics, but it's in the news lately, and I keep getting things on my phone about it. All right, so what did you do? Bank account bonus central bought some WPay and HOOW this AM at a discount. It's definitely the discount. I bought blocks at a discount yesterday. Come on, blocks. And you bought blocks today. Yeah, I could add some today. So, yeah, Failing. Well, what I'm saying, I was just giving my analysis, Mark. Yeah, no, it's doing what you said, but my analysis was, and I drew a line there, and I said if it doesn't take that line back, if it goes that line and doesn't get over it, and then especially if it makes a lower low than the open, that's my definition of a fill. Look, Bitcoin's doing the same thing too, just on the time frame I follow. I want Bitcoin to take back this. I want Bitcoin to look below and fell and go that way. But right now, I mean, it's failing. It's failing for the bulls. Look, it retreated to it, and yeah, it did exactly what you said. If you bought it this morning and sold it when it hit the line, absolutely. Well, I mean, who knows till the end of the day? I'm just saying the look I want to avoid is going there, stopping, and going down and finishing down here, or God forbid, making a new low, getting into this gap. That's my definition of a failure. I'm looking at this line, but yeah, I know it did exactly what you said. But that's what I mean by failure. This triple bottom to me, if we can't take it back, at least it's a failure for today. I mean, tomorrow it could go right back the other way. I've also heard that they're going to reopen the government after the elections are over. So maybe tomorrow or something they'll have some kind of breakthrough. I don't know. But if that happens, and I'm cautious about that, if that happens, maybe the market will run the other way. And this is a look, but maybe this is a look below and fell look. They're looking below this line and they fell below it and they go that way. We'll see. I'm gonna make my decision at the end of the day. If they close on this side of this line, to me it was a victory for the bulls. But if they close down towards the low of the range, or God forbid, make a lower low than where the open was, that's a win for the bears, is what I meant by failing. All right. So what else is going on? Bitcoin headed below 100K. Yeah, and that's not going to be great for the market either. I don't think. That it looks like the market's is failing. Yeah, I didn't even see 7.88 cents. You're DCAing out. I'm with you on Spamberger. But I'm not as bullish on the market. But I'm with you 100% on keep Virginia red. You have a limit order on WPay at 52. Well, this would probably be a great day to pick it up. So, I mean, especially if maybe the shutdown does end, and that for whatever reason, maybe that makes people more bullish. And then we start our Santa Claus rally. This is probably just a pullback to start the Santa Claus rally. But how far do we need to go a little bit further before it starts? In other words, if we fell here, like I'm saying, it's looking like we're trying to do we need to go down here and test this other open gap or this open gap? There's one down here, and then set up the rally for the end of the year. I'm still bullish long term. I'm always bullish long term, but the short term it's been kind of troublesome. And especially if you believe, as I do, that Bitcoin kind of leads the show. So we shall see. We shall definitely see. All right. We need to get a higher low before we can get a higher high. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Good point. I'm on the lookout for that. Well, I'll try to be optimistic. Headed out for a bike ride. See you later. All right, Grumpy. I'll see you. I'll see you tonight. You'll probably be there for the live stream tonight. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm out of stuff to talk about. I'm going to get out of here. My freaking dog woke me up at 5:00 this morning, and Jackson, and so I took him out, and he didn't want to go pee. He just bored, I guess. So I took him back in. That's fine. I didn't get mad at him. That's fine. So but then I'm wide awake. So I start talking to Mark. I get on Discord and I say good morning, and I look at Mark's analysis and everyone else's. And then about 10 minutes later, he starts whimpering again. I take him outside, same thing. He didn't want to pee. So that time I got mad at him. But anyway, I don't know what his deal was. But anyway, so I've been up since 5, but it's good. All right, for people that are here in income funds for the long term, these red days are set up for buying opportunities in the future. Yeah, I'm trying to decide. I'm going to buy something today. I just can't decide if it's K-Gold, WPay, blocks. I mean, there's lots of stuff I could buy or K-Yield, So I'm just trying to buy something on days where the market's pulling back. And when the market was up last week, I was trying to sell something a little bit, or trying to raise some cash. So anyway, but I almost think I raised too much cash. Having cash is good. Cash can't lose value. I mean, it can over the long term with inflation, but on a day-to-day basis, cash is pretty consistent. But I'm a little afraid that the market will Trump will tweet something. We have a trade deal, and the shutdown's solved, and everyone's happy, and the market's going to be going to keep going up, and I'm going to wish I would have bought something. So I'm definitely buying something today. I just don't know what it is yet. All right, guys. Well, do I think Alti will get back above $5? Hard to tell. Really haven't looked at it much. It's going to have I made a video a month ago. Let's get realistic about Alti. It's going to lose about half its value every year. So, I mean, but that doesn't mean it can't go from, it doesn't mean it can't go from 5 to 6 or 4 to 5. But I mean, over the course of a year, I'm going to expect it to go from, what did it start this year at 8 or something? I'm going to expect to go to 4 if it starts. I mean, it's just the math of the way it works out. So I hope it does, but I hope it does. You have limit orders to sell rest of it at 5. Okay, well, do it. Yeah, do what you think. I have no idea. But I wouldn't count on it being a great growth stock. It's an income stock. I think it's doing a great job. I did well on it, but I'm glad I cut back on it. It just got too heavy. It got too heavy, like 28% of my account. If it was still 28% of my account with the way that it's been doing the past week, I'd be in trouble. As it is, my account's barely moved. The other thing is, it's that I don't have anything against Altis. 28% of my account. When I got it, it was the best. A year ago, when I got it, it was the best option out there. It was the only hedge fund style thing that was doing collars and protective puts and switching stocks in and out. But now we have blocks. We have WPay, which it really, but it's a good alternative. Blocks, WPay, QLDY is one people are sleeping on that's really good. And of course, we have K yield and we have ULTI. So there's so many choices. I'm just trying to stay diverse. All right. What sucks for you today is I'm out 18, but I can't use it. Oh man. When I was a broker, I remember those ACATS transfers. I hadn't thought about that in like 20 years until you mentioned something in Discord about ACAT, and it just brought back memories. I was like, oh yeah, I had a cutoff time. I had to do it. Anyway, yeah, I know all about those, and I did tons of wire transfers also. I think ACAT's different. Yeah, ACAT's different than wire, but anyway, yeah, they're a pain, and there's just an administrative hassle. So, all right, guys. Well, good luck, and I will shout at you guys later, and I'll be over in Discord if we forgot to talk about anything. Good luck on that ACAT, Mark. Talk to you later.